Well, hey, you guys. So there's a lot of division in the world today, but I think one thing we can all agree on is that we tend to overspend at Targets. I see the memes all the time of people confessing that the Target checkout line really got them today. And listen, I 100% relate. But Target isn't the only store where people tend to overspend. In fact, there are intentional marketing tactics behind every single store. If you've ever stepped foot in one, you are part of it, you guys. You experience it and may not even realize it. So today I'm sharing 5 of the most common tricks stores pull in order to have you spend more money. And number 5 on the list gets me the most fired up. So make sure to stick around for my hot take. All right, the first strategy that stores use to get customers to spend more money actually feels like they're doing you a favor at first. You think, oh, wow, Nordstrom, you're really rooting for me to get me the best deal. It's so nice of them. But listen, I hate to break it to you, but the rewards programs are not doing you the favor you think they are. So whether it's a $20 birthday coupon or get 10% off when you spend more than $150, their goal is to get you to spend more. That is it, okay? That is what they focus on. It is not so you can save more. It is really, how can we get them to spend more money? And listen, if you get free shipping because you needed that certain amount of clothes, then that's great. Good for you. But for me, buyer's remorse really can kick in if I really didn't need something, but I bought it because it seemed like a good deal. So don't fall for it, you guys. All right, the second strategy businesses use to get you to spend more money is about merchandising. So merchandising is just a fancy word for the way stores are set up. And it's from the placement of items on the shelves to the layout of the actual store. This is one of the most strategic parts of your shopping experience. So for example, at the grocery store, they keep their rotisserie chicken in the back for a reason. They want you to walk through all the other aisles when you're in a pinch for dinner time because you're more likely to add some additional things to your grocery list. Or let's say you're at the snack aisle at Walmart and you notice a little bit more of an expensive name brand product, like right there eye level, while all the generic brands, are down below or up high, and they're like camouflage. You can't even see them. And did you know that this trick goes all the way back to London in the early 1900s? Department stores that started keeping their perfume and their cosmetics out from behind the counter to lure in the ladies who were walking the streets so that they could sample the products for themselves. So this is a common practice because it is so effective to getting people to buy. And speaking of this, that brings me to the third thing that stores do to make more money, and that's the try before you buy. You think about this for Amazon, for instance, because it seems like a great idea until you forget that you haven't actually paid for your item once you have it. So basically, if you're shopping for a pair of shoes or a new sweater and you're not 100% sure if you'll like it on yourself or if it's going to fit right, then you can order it without paying for it. And if you keep it for a certain amount of time after its delivery, then they're going to charge you. So listen, not to be dramatic, but it feels like another form of debt or something. It's like, oh my gosh, I get something, I don't pay for it in full up front, and then I pay for it later. It's kind of like a car or a couch or a tank top from Amazon, because you're kind of lying to yourself, like, I have the money for it, and it's in the account. Like, I feel like I do, but do you really, is the question. And I don't know about you, but my life, there's so many things going on that I'm like, I can't keep up with purchases that have deadlines to them, that I'm like, oh, I have to do this or return this or this or this or this. It's just too much. So listen, just buy the item, track your purchase, and when your money leaves, make sure to track it on your budget. And if you don't like it, then take it back. But always, always remember, if you can't afford to buy the item until after it's delivered, then you can't afford it, period. All right, the fourth thing that stores do to make more money has to do with timing and the frequency of sales. Now, Hobby Lobby, a great store, but they're a great example of this because the awesome thing about them is that they always have sales going on. And the tricky thing is that everything is always on sale. So they're constantly altering week to week, so you kind of have to pay attention to what the current deal is. The Anthropologie sale room is another great example of this. They almost always have an additional 40% off sale item signs out on the weekend. And if you see something you love and you catch it on a non-sales day, then it might be worth keeping your eye out until it rotates back in on the sale. And if you're willing to do a little extra waiting every now and then, patience really can save you some serious cash. All right, we've made it to number 5, which again is the one that I'm like, I hate this one. And the 5th thing companies do to have you spend more money happens mostly online, and it's something that marketers call reducing the friction. So it's kind of the opposite of number 2, where they want you to walk all around the store to get your chicken. This is kind of like the opposite. It's this idea that like you can get it really quick, regardless if you have the money or not. So think about Klarna or Afterpay, like all these companies, they're not doing you a favor. It is a form of debt. And retailers know this though, because people spend more money on these services. Because again, these services are created because companies realize that people end up clicking out of their online shopping window and they leave things in the cart. I do this. And they're like, no. Maybe it's because they don't have enough money and they're saying, oh, it's okay. You just have to do 4 easy payments. That's all you got to do. Just agree to that and you're fine. And listen, you know me. The debt thing is not my jam. I don't like it. So car payments, student loan payments, even Afterpay, and those have been normalized in our culture to say, oh, I can afford the payment. But honestly, what people do that when with money, they say, can I actually afford the item? Because the reality is that this is stealing hundreds of dollars from people's budgets, because for a lot of these companies, if you don't pay on time, there's fees, there's interest, all of it. And if you've ever gotten stuck in that paycheck to paycheck cycle, it is so stressful and it is defeating. Okay, so that way of spending with money when it comes to debt is never going to bring you true financial peace. And you're never going to have the margin you need to build long-term wealth. So, do you feel a little stressed out right now? Sorry about that. But it's kind of good because I want you to spend your hard-earned money the best to your ability. And the best way to make sure that your income is going as far as possible is to track your spending and to be on a budget. And EveryDollar is one of the best ways to do it. So go to everydollar.com today, build your first budget, because I'm telling you, it is going to help you when it comes to all this shopping experience. You're going to know the amount of money you have to spend in a category, and regardless of what a store is doing to try to get you to spend more, you will have the power. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and you definitely don't want to miss the episode below, which I will link, about wasting your money at your favorite stores. So make sure to check it out. And as always, you guys, remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.